produce stand, just walking. And he's like, what the fuck is she doing? And all this, fire or smoke is everywhere. And he looks up and she's fucking decapitated and she's walking with her head off.
Welcome to Cool Media Podcast, interview series where we interview creatives, all types of interesting people. We do have Branding in the house. We got Fly and we got Marvin in this motherfucker. And of course, a special guest, Eve Mauro.
Yes.
Yes, get it. Yes, sheesh. All right, let's get to it. Let us know where were you raised and a little bit more on your history before you started into the acting world.
Yeah. So we'll start with my dad.
Sorry about that.
We'll start with my dad. My dad was born in Catania, Sicily.
Yeah.
He was born in 1934. That was like around when World War II had just ended and shit. He actually has this cool story. Can I take a little side?
Go for it.
So he used to work at a produce stand, his parents' produce stand and shit. So these sirens would go off in like World War II because Mussolini became allies with Hitler, but then they were turning on the Italians, and then Sicily is the darker Italians. So these alarms would go off, and these bombs would go off, and then all the shrapnel would go everywhere. So when you heard these sirens, you would have to go and like duck undercover and shit. And so my dad was really young, and he heard the siren go off. He goes under the produce stand, and he tells me, he's like, this woman, she was a beautician. She's like, and this is how my dad describes women. He's like, nice breast, Yeah. And he says, I see her, and she's walking back and forth in front of the produce stand, just walking. And he's like, what the fuck is she doing? And all this, fire or smoke is everywhere. And he looks up, and she's fucking decapitated, and she's walking with her head off, going back and forth. So this is like one of my dad's last memories in Sicily, But right?
Yeah.
now it's starting all over again. And so he came to America by himself on a boat. Didn't speak a word of English. He got off in New York. Actually, his first words in English were, it's more than words. It's cocksucker motherfucker.
Okay.
So that's what he says. That's my first word in English, cocksucker motherfucker. I'm like, it's not really a word, Dad, but
and there was a heavy migration from the Italian community over here around that time, right?
Yeah. Well, after World War II, especially, but a lot of the Southern Italians, they were in so much poverty. The Northern, they were even sending their kids up north because they had no money for food, nothing. So they were just giving up their children. But in Southern Italy, it was different because you think Italy was. It was ruled by Arabs, it was ruled by Greeks, Moors, everything. And so it just, I think in the early 1800s, I'm not sure the date, just came under rule of Italy. So when someone's like, you're Italian, you're like, no, not that I don't respect the Italian heritage.
Yeah.
You think of all these hundreds of years of these countries who have ruled over Sicily. So it's like, it's a little different,
Yeah.
So, so a lot of Italians were coming over. And he was kind of an adult by the time he came over in 40s or 50s, something like that, but 20s. But he didn't speak English, lived in New York, finally got a green card, citizenship, and moved to Atlanta. First, he was cooking, he was a chef, and then he owned a lot of strip clubs.
Atlanta, doing it all.
A lot of strip clubs. A lot of nightclubs and punk rock clubs. Oh, RuPaul used to work for my dad before he was RuPaul.
Shit, that's crazy.
So he used to work at a punk rock club in this Antonio's Pizzeria or something. And then he let him change it up. And then my dad had male review too for like LGBTQ. That's where the money was, he said, because the guys would fucking pay a lot for other guys to strip, whereas the guys, when the females are stripping, not so much.
Yeah, they're on some cheap shit.
Yeah, right?
I'm here for the wings.
Yeah.
I think that still holds up.
I think it does. Whew. But and then my mom used to be a bartender at one of his clubs. My mom, third wife-ish. We got in a little trouble. And we moved to Florida.
Of course.
Yeah. And there I was good until I wasn't good, and dropped out of school because, like, I said school's not for everyone.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Not for me either.
Yeah, it's not for you either. And it's not a bad thing, right? I mean,
it's not.
how many successful people do you know that dropped out of school?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot, yeah.
It's
Were you like a rebel? You were into more like an edgy music scene?
I didn't think I was. I thought it was good, and
Yeah.
now I look back. I thought
Look
it
at
was
the
good.
pictures, like, yo.
I know. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I look at like report cards. You know, you have the old paper ones, and it's like, Yvonne, because that was my full name. Yvonne is on cloud 9. She never pays attention. She's always sleeping. D-. I'm like, oh fuck, what? You know.
You were a real artist.
But yeah, I listen to edgier stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like 9 Inch Nails, Alice in Chains, Pantera, but rap too. You know, Method Man to
Ooh,
Cal, still
okay.
one of my favorite albums.
Yes, Method
You
Man
know?
for sure.
So just anything that was like fucking that you could feel something. You
Yeah.
know. And I think like a lot of music, some, not all of it, but the synthesized music today, like some of it you don't feel anything. You're like, you want to feel like
Yeah.
whatever it's giving. And there's so much electronics and things that go into it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck am I feeling? It's like AI for music, you know?
Yeah, that's for sure.
So where was I? Oh.
Now you were in Atlanta Florida doing it up.
Yes, yeah.
And how do you make your way eventually to where you started to be in the entertainment industry and all that?
Okay. Oh yeah. Well,
I saw like a brief article saying that you moved into Cali or like LA like in your 20s.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
was that? Because that's like I feel like that's super young. So I mean, to
Yeah.
be here, was it you just by yourself or did you move with like, I don't know,
She got in
family?
trouble.
well, I did get in some trouble. Yeah, but that was before I moved out. But when I moved to LA, I just got back into town because I had actually violated my probation. I left town.
Oh,
I
shit.
came back, turned myself in, and then I got a job working in a law firm as an administrative assistant. They were just letting people go, and plus I wasn't cut out for the job, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And they gave me a severance pay, and I'm like, fuck it. It was like $2,600. So I booked a flight, a one-way ticket to California and LA because I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. But you know, the thing is, everyone's like, have a backup plan. Do this, do that. I don't think that's what you should do because if you have a backup plan, it's, you know, you have something to back up on, to fall back on. I was like, no, this is what I'm going to do.
You're planning to fail.
Yeah. So you're planning your
Yeah.
failure. I'm like, I'm not fucking planning to fail. I'm going to do this shit. So I booked a ticket and had one of those old blue suitcases with no wheels on it, you know, like picking it up like this. But I lived first. First place I rented a place was I thought. It's funny. I just got in a model agency.
Okay.
And they were asking me, like, where do you live? Where do you live? I'm like, yeah, I live off Rodeo, right? And I gave them the address, and they're like, yeah, that's Rodeo. That's not Rodeo. You live in South Central. You don't live in Beverly. So I was like on 54th and Crenshaw. Renting a room from the Penny Saver from this lady named Miss Smith. Yeah. So I mean, like, I didn't know. I'm like, wait, it's spelled the same fucking way,
Yeah,
man.
no. I think it turned right, and that's Obama Boulevard. I
Yeah.
believe.
Right? But so I was living there, but my agency's like, bitch. So, you know, that was fun. But I lived there for a minute and I got my first job. It was Madonna Hollywood. Everyone goes to Hollywood video, right? And
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And so
Fire.
the song is about everyone comes to Hollywood to try and make it in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it was speaking to you.
Yeah,
for sure.
right?
Yeah.
And I was like the French maid, like I was rubbing her legs. It was this director, his name was Jean-Baptiste Mondino, and he's smoking these cigarettes, and he's like, rub further up her thighs, rub. Just, I'm like fucking sitting there, like terrified, like, how far do you want me to go for fucking? But she was really cool, and I got paid like probably for 2 days about $5,000, which is a
Whoa,
lot.
nice.
And it was in my 20s, and
Hell yeah.
so from that, then I moved out of South Central. And
Yes. Oh, so you're South Central. Hey, I fuck with you. I'm from South Central too.
But I liked it out there. I was like, this is the
it's
ghetto.
a lot of culture. A lot of culture out there, you know?
There was Woody's Barbecue right next door.
Yeah.
So and that was always packed. Let's see. Then I started doing, I moved in, I was renting, I was a roommate with this one chick, and she's now just a chef for the Kardashians, a personal
Oh, shit.
chef for them.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
but we were like, we were living together. She was going to school. I started putting myself through acting school. And, you know, I think we were doing whatever we could to make money and stuff like that. And so I was going through acting school, and I was doing a play, and this guy named Brian Gersh, he was representing Sean Penn and Anna Paquin at the time.
Yeah.
He had her
Gersh
assistant.
has a good agency as well.
Yeah. But he was running CAA at the time, so it's
okay.
not the same, but he was like number one, right? And then his agent or assistant saw me, and then we took a meeting, and he started repping me. Yeah, so, I mean, it was kind of lucky, or it was like right timing thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Yeah. So I got repped by him in the school I went to. So there's a gimmick with schools out here. They're like, you have to go for 4 years. You're not allowed to work in the industry. You're not allowed to do this, do that. Some of the schools, right? It's like a conservatory. I'm like, fuck, I just got this opportunity, right? I don't have some mom and dad who's going to pay my way. I don't have, like, there's all these, like, Nepo babies or people who have rich parents. I'm like, I got an opportunity. I'm going out for fucking auditions. I want to work. And they're like, no, you're not going to be able to come back to this school if you decide to start working again. Well, I'm like, fuck you, man. Like, I already I gave you my money. You know?
Was it one of like the major acting schools? I think there's like 2 or 3
there's
methods,
some,
right?
Yeah, there's some good ones out here. It's still around. I'm not going to call them out, you know?
Yeah.
But you know who you are, motherfucker. But, you know, I started working in my first gig. The truth is you do got to lie sometimes.
Yeah.
My first gig was this show. It was CSI Miami, but I go in for a co-star. And the lady, she liked me a lot. Nan Dutton, I don't even think she's around anymore. She was like a ball buster. Like everyone was terrified of this casting director. And she liked me, and she's like, why are you reading for a co-star? Read for this guest star, this reoccurring guest star. So she gives me the script, I'm looking at it, I do it. They call me back, she calls my manager, and they're like, has Eve worked in anything before?
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, she's just not on IMDb yet, which is International Movie Database. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, tells her all this stuff. I'm hired for a recurring role on CSI Miami. She finds out that I've never done anything. She calls her, she's like, if she fucks this up, it's your fucking ass. Hangs up the phone, they're like, don't fuck it up. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
So,
fire.
right? But you know.
At least she let it slide. She was like, this is on you. If you fuck it up, you fuck it
Yeah,
up. So,
right?
I mean, that's good for her.
Yeah, but you think like sometimes you do. Like you hear of these actors and
Yeah.
like, oh, well, I lied and said I could ride a motorcycle, or I lied and said I was 5'9" or whatever. It's like,
Like you, Tom Cruise.
yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Dude, a lot of guy actors lie
Yeah.
about their height because then they're like, yo, you're 5. So one job was like, they was asking me if I was 5'9". I'm like, no, I'm not. And I wasn't even wearing heels. I'm wearing boots now, so I'm taller. I'm like, you motherfuckers are liars. Like, most men actors are a lot shorter than they say.
Yes.
Because I look like a giant all the time. I'm like, I swear to God, I'm not that big. Like, fucking.
So it's very important to be on set and you see like try to be a people person, meaning like don't try to go in there and be like pretending like you're the shit, and because
No.
having the right moment with the right connection with the right person could just change your whole shit.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Oh, it does. I mean, even people right when I started, right?
Yeah.
The first movies, first TV shows I got, a lot of those people, actually, my manager right now, he was a PA on one of the second movies I did. He contacted me. He's like, oh, I'm managing now. He had done a whole bunch of movies, producing. I'm like, yeah, let's do it, man. But he always said, he's like, you were so kind. All those other girls were just total cunts, you know? And they are. Sometimes with me, they'll find out I'm producing or I have a contact. I'm like, you were so fucking rude to me. Like, you made me feel like shit, like belittling people. And they do that.
Yep.
You don't know what someone's going to do or what they're
true.
going to accomplish. But even if they don't, like, you treat a fucking waiter a certain way or a guy, your valet guy. I'm like, it just shows what
That
your
is very
true nature is, right?
That is very true. I've experienced that because when I was working on with Dave on Tax Collector, I saw how people treated me, but when they saw Shia LaBeouf, what up, Prime? Next, everybody's like, oh, okay. And then they started treating me good all of a sudden. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, tell me about Tax Collector.
I was working with Conejo. I was managing Conejo at that time. Just kind of working with Dave and them with visuals and like graphics and stuff and working. But being on set it is trippy because you do get that energy where people feel like they're bigger than they are. But when the main actor treats you like, yo, bro, I've been hearing so much about you through Conejo. And next you know, so everybody was like, oh, okay. Now they, you want something? I just be like, oh, it's funny how the whole energy shifted.
Yeah,
Good,
right?
Bro, you good? You need some?
Yeah, that was happening.
Yeah.
Now I was getting like invited to the craft service and all that extra stuff.
You're like, you're not standing in extra holding anymore. You're like, oh,
now
shit.
I'm getting the lobster. Yeah, but go ahead and continue.
Yeah,
Go
only
ahead.
on those real good budgets you get lobster.
Yes,
Usually
yes.
commercials. I don't think I've gotten lobster on any movies.
Okay, Dave, maybe.
I know, maybe. Come on, give me some lobster. What was I saying?
Saying being a good person
yeah.
to your manager and all that.
Yeah. So, good person to your manager. So, or a good person to everyone.
Yeah.
But what part of the story was I on? Sorry, my brain is always all over the
When
place.
you ended up getting the manager as to hire you, basically.
Yeah. Oh, so I got a job, or I was doing a play, and then my manager hired me. Then I got that job, and then the acting job where I lied. But things, they started picking up, small indie things, whatever. But then also, it doesn't always come from auditioning. So a lot of people are thinking, you got to get an agent, you got to get a manager, you got to do this. It doesn't come that way because people want to know if they could work with you. You're on a TV show, you're with them, I don't know, however long you're with them. You're on a movie, you're together either 3 months or 3 weeks, the shortest time. People are like, do I want to be around her all the time? Is she going to come to the set with a mood? And so I think a lot of the movies that I've gotten, aside from talent, and that's all, it's, it's up to whoever's the viewer for talent.
For sure.
So I think aside from that, like I've been easy to work with. I'm, if people change things up, here's a new script for today. I'm not bitching all the time. Of course, I could be stressed out, but I'm not going to bring that to set. Everyone's stressed out. Everyone wants to do a good job,
Yeah.
So a lot of that's through there. Of course, auditioning. But the industry has changed too. Like now, used to be just this pocket of people in LA and New York auditioning, and you all had agents and managers, and you went to the casting director's office. You went there, you sat there. So I read the sides one time. I'm doing it like face on with the person, right? And they're like, they can get a good gauge. Are you good under pressure? Are you making eye contact? Are you in the moment? Whereas now, you have people submitting auditions, and it's just a different world. So I can't really bitch, but it's different.
Yeah.
From all over. And maybe they got all this time on their hands. Maybe they could do the take at their house or the audition 500 fucking times for this take, right? And they're like, oh, we finally got it after a week. Let's do it. Let's submit it. This person might get hired. Whereas me, I'm like, bro, I got shit to do. I got bills to pay. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Let's do it. Okay, this one worked. That's good. Good. Get it in. Let's go. And so now I'm thinking a lot of these people, a lot of times when I'm watching some things, I'm like, you can tell they're not seasoned actors. You can see like a fear in their eye, whereas casting directors could clock that right when you walked in the room. It'd be like she's scared. She's not going to be able to be opposite of this actor. She's going to fold on every line. It's going to suck, man. So I think that was kind of lost with the pandemic.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
And then the influencers took over.
I mean, it's always changing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But, I hope that acting will somehow get back into more of like, I just feel like it's just, everything's going, like a more artistic expression, what it used to be, or what it used to hold for people. Like people say, oh, it's not an important profession. Yeah. Like music is an important profession, or being an artist. I'm like, you're fucking wrong, man.
Facts.
Because when you're sad, what do? You listen to music.
Watch a fucking
you watch
movie.
a fucking movie. There's nothing else you could do. It takes you through moments in life. Someone dies. You go through a breakup. Maybe you're getting married, and all those songs, all those movies are stuck in your head. I'm like, I think art is a necessity. It's something we need. It's this human, raw emotion that we're just like, oh, it doesn't mean anything. It does. It connects us to other people. We're like, you love that song? I love that song.
Yes.
You like that movie? And it's like words without having to say words in between people, this connection between art. Like,
Mm-hmm. And that's what brings families together, because you remember those movies, like, you know, you have these moments like, and it's all tied down to a movie as well.
Yeah.
And then you carry that, and it also inspires you. Like, I'm inspired by movies. Like, to this day, Training Day is like such in my DNA of how I do things. So it's just like, yeah, it's very important. And I do feel like it's lost its touch now, where just movies are just so like popcorn. In and out, and they're not memorable no more as much.
No.
You know what
I feel like because we're just hurry up, get the product out, go. I mean, there are some really great movies. Let's not discredit them,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
the majority, you know, some TV shows, I'm like you're missing the mark. Of course, we have fucking Netflix, we have this streaming, we want things. It's like gimme, you know. But then also, what the quality you're getting back, then they have this thing where they're like, I don't know what the fuck they call it, where is the viewer, are they going to be able to look at their phone and then look back at the TV and still catch it? Because if you can't do that, they don't want those type of movies. I'm like, what the fuck is that? You don't want to watch my movie? Don't be on your phone watching my shit, you know?
You're right.
I hear they're
iPad era
changing up
kid.
scripts because of that, and now they're making it so that they basically explain the plot at least 3 times throughout the movie,
Yes.
because they expect people to be going back and forth with the movie.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the reason why I'm on my phone. I'm like, God damn, this bitch just said the 3rd time. I was watching something the other day.
Yes.
I'm gonna say it. The first
Go for it.
the first episode, and I really wanted to watch it. I'm like, how many times are they saying this fucking bitch's name in the first episode? And I was telling my dude, we're watching it, and it's the TV show Scarpetta with, I love, what's her name? She's, I forgot her name. She's the lead of Scarpetta. I love this out, Nicole Kidman. And I'm watching it. They say her name about 50 times in the first episode. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get out of the fucking house.
Yeah.
You know? I'm like, why are you reminding? Like, this is the name of the fucking show. Like, I don't need to hear it anymore.
Yes.
You know? So
Right.
I have like a short fuse when it comes to stuff like that. But hearing the plot, like 3 times throughout the thing, I'm like, dude, like I'm paying attention right here with me. Like, it's like land the plane, you know?
Yeah. It's going in
That
circles.
is true, man. It's
Right?
happening. It's changing now. And how do you feel about the streaming networks and all of that in film?
You know, it's great because there's more opportunities.
Yeah.
But then I don't feel like a lot of those opportunities are for me. So there's tons of different actors, right?
Yeah.
And I've done some shitty films. I've done some great, amazing films. But a lot of sometimes what they ask for actors in certain things that they're putting out is not to really act at all. They want you to be present and say the words, and this is, you know, just get the lines out. They don't want you, it's like you're there, but just, you know, be small, be in a box. Whereas film acting is a little different. And some shows are great, you know, but I feel like some of it's just like they want you to just fucking be a robot or be not really present. And
I feel like it's a conveyor belt, almost
Yeah.
like just get the film done. We
Yeah,
don't care about
yeah.
the
I don't want to
Oscar.
minimize your talent. Like, we want you to stay
Yeah.
in this lane and not go.
well, you know,
of
and
it.
talent is subjective. Some people be like, dude, I don't fucking like that bitch. But it's like, I like this person because I like the way she looks on screen. I like the way she projects herself. I like how she's doing things. And other people won't like that. But like, I didn't start acting because I wanted a 9 to 5. I just wanted to be a robot. I don't want to just go in, get the lines out, and go home. I want to feel something too. Like, we have these lives, right?
Yeah.
I'm an actress, but I'm like, I love acting so fucking much because when I'm acting, it's like I take off my own skin and I put in someone else's. I'm building a human from the ground up. I'm building all of these things that create this full fucking human being, this person with emotions, with sadness, with like every single thing. And it's like, I put my fucking skin aside, I'm wearing someone else's. And I'm like, that's why I do it. I love to understand other people because it's really the art of understanding and be like, dude, well, why the fuck would she do that? But you're never the villain in your own story, you know? So I'm like I did that movie with David Ayer, bad fucking person, people think, but I'm
loved
like,
it.
why am I doing this? What happened to her? And why does this fucking bitch, she doesn't want to get, you know, like I abducted her, I'm a child trafficker. I'm like, what do you think? Why do you think I'm doing it? Do you think she deserves a life better than me? And I'm thinking of all these things. And I'm like, these are the things that people think of. And you look at people on the side of the street, you look at homeless people. Like today, I drove by, and there's this homeless guy, and he's throwing all this stuff everywhere. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, I wonder what he was like when he was a child, what his parents were, when they were holding him, what they were thinking, and what, like, that embrace he got, or if he didn't have it. And I'm thinking that, and I'm like getting choked up in the car. I'm like, because we want to judge these people so quickly. But I'm like, with acting, if you do it right, it's for you too. You can't judge anyone. You're like, fuck. You look at everyone, you're like, why am I hateful towards this person? And like, and you just imagine just them being alive, being embraced, being hurt, all of these things. And it just, that's why you act, because it makes you this different person. And there's a beauty in it. And so when I say like this conveyor belt, this 9 to 5, this, I'm like, you know, that's why I don't want to do it, because I want to be in someone else's shoe. I want to feel what that feels like, because why else do it?
There's beauty in that.
Yeah.
There is beauty in that. And you brought up a Working Man. How was that? Because when I had been followed you before that movie, and Dave invited me and Conejo to go to the screening. We watched it, and then your character stood out. And it's crazy because I got home and the next day you post a promo for it. And I'm like, oh shit, it's her. It's crazy. How was that experience? Because you just shot it in Europe, I believe, right?
Yeah, that was
How was that
dope as fuck, man.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, sometimes things aren't going in your life and stuff like that. And fuck, I'm 44 years old. So I was like 43 or so. Yeah, I'm old. No, but it's like, never give up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Great genes,
you
for
know?
sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
And then I was like, I get the offer, and David and I were talking about the character. And what I like about him, for instance, is he's a director. He makes, like, some directors, they just sit back and they let you do your thing. But then he would come up and he would say something, and it would trigger something in me before I went to the scene, just the smallest little thing. And I thought about it, and I sat there, I'm like, and then it changed the entire way that I did the scene. I'm like, you could just say one word or one thing if you listen, and you still have your character, right? But then that one word changes this thing inside of you. You can't explain it being a good director. You know what you're doing, you know? It's like this a puppeteer, but in a good way, because these are your puppets, right? And it was a great experience. I mean, at first, I did the work, you know? She's in a motorcycle gang.
You were a badass on that film. You were a badass.
She works with the Russian mob. She traffics women. I'm like, let's go, man.
Yeah, you were a badass in there.
So I have some friends in motorcycle gang who were, you know, they were taking me around and telling me some things. And, you know, I don't want to say that I'm method, because I believe that I could turn it off when I go home. But then something inside me says, maybe I am, because I do want to be in their skin. So I could still, I was talking to my castmates like a normal person too, but in the back of my head too, I was more standoff than usual. You know, I wasn't going like, oh, you guys, let's go shopping, or, you know, fucking shit like that. I'm like, yeah, we're all going out. Cool, man. I'll see you on set. Like, I'm like, no, I'm cool. You know? But like, I kept part of that. But back to that, I thought, first of all, it's a fucking studio movie.
Yes.
David Ayer is like, he's the top of the top, right? He wrote Training Day.
Fast and the Furious,
I mean, like, all of the movies, Tax Collector.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad.
In my opinion on that movie, it had elements of like the Suicide Squad, like, like it had elements, like the way he painted those villains. That's why I love your character, because it was like a hint of like almost superhero-ish.
Yes. But what's crazy too is we go to do a fucking wardrobe fit, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got my character or whatever, and then there's this one outfit with the fucking feathers and stuff like that, and then I see other people's outfits. I'm like, whoa. I'm sitting back. I'm like, fuck, man, I got this movie all wrong. I'm like, I got to change, not everything about my character, but now I got to change the world she lives in. I'm like, okay, we're living in a fictionalized world, which I like. I'm like, this is.
It had like a hint of like, So
I'm like, although this is a Jason Statham action movie, you want to see, I'm like, there was this fucking world that doesn't really exist that was there. You have the Russian mobsters in these fucking outfits, you know, you see that. I'm like, okay, but it's just like, you're a kid and you're playing like out in the yard, you're 7 years old. shit hasn't changed. It's the same thing. Like, okay, this is a scenario. The helicopters are cops and the grass is like razor blade. Okay, got it. Let's go, you know?
Yeah.
I can see you as a Harley Quinn. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Would you ever play her? Like, what's a superhero that you would want to play in that kind of movie?
I mean, I would love to play Harley Quinn. I mean, who wouldn't,
Yes.
right? Especially as a
Iconic.
female and being badass and all of those things. But what I think too, when it comes to superheroes, I think that the villains, everyone has an origin story,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
And I find the villains so much more fascinating because it's like the hero is normally the one who tells the story. Like there's this, I don't know what the saying is, like the hunter's the one who tells the story, not the lion who's gotten poached or
Yeah.
whatever. But I'm like, is fucking, what's his name, Batman, is he really the good guy? You know, is he?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
he's the
you're
one
right.
telling the story.
Yeah, he's the one telling the story.
And what about the Roadrunner? And
Yeah.
like, I'm like, come on, man, that little motherfucker, he's fucking with them the whole time. And then we're just supposed to believe.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are setting the stage. You're telling me who's the good guy and the
Yeah.
bad guy, but it's like what's going on in the world. You're telling me who I'm supposed to trust and who I'm
Yeah.
not. Just the same thing in the movies. So sometimes I look at it, I'm like, you know, the people, like, the villains always stand out so
Yeah,
much more than the
always stand out,
heroes.
yes.
And they always have like a better, deeper backstory than the superhero, because
Right?
Yeah.
like
They
like the saddest, like God. If it would have went the other way, he would have been a whole different person. But that one thing happened, and
Right?
now it's like
What is your origin
that
story?
turning point.
Are you talking specifically about The Dark Knight?
Oh.
The second one? Because I feel like that's what you're referring to.
No,
'cause-
just in general, like villains
Yeah.
always have like that one deep story, which is like it's more inspiring than the superhero story.
It is. It's more
Yeah.
memorable
It's always
too.
more
Like
memorable.
it gives you that contrast that's needed. Because even like that's why your character stood out to me. I'm like when I finished watching it, I'm like, oh shit, like because it seems superhero-ish. Like if Dave took this film and then just gave it a little bit of the DNA of what he did at Suicide Squad.
Yes.
And then it was like exaggerated fits, and I'm like, oh, it sounds. it was badass. It was
And I got
badass.
to keep those fits.
Oh shit.
too. I know. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna
you
wear
wear
it,
'em?
but huh?
Do you wear them often? Or
No,
is it
I have
just
I have some
decoration?
mannequins in my house,
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
and I just put them
Yeah.
in there. Like I had them, you know. My house is kind
Yeah.
of weird and creepy, but I'm like, oh, you'll wear this. So
Yeah.
they're wearing my outfits. I don't know if I could wear that in the street without, you know, drawing a lot of attention. You know,
And when
like,
you-
did she just come back from the club?
And when you got the script, you knew it was Jason Statham movie.
Yeah, well, I did, you know, but the script originally, it was written by Stallone.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yes,
then,
it was,
but
yeah.
it's a book. It's called Levon's Trade
Yes.
or Levin's Trade, however you want to say it. But being as though he's from the South, I'm like, it's Levon's Trade. But it's
And that
like,
was the original title because from the beginning.
that
right?
was
That was the original title.
Yeah. They turned into a working man, but you know the studios know what
Yes,
they're
studios
doing.
do it, yeah.
So and then plus, if they continue on with that journey, you know, so it would be easier, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
It's better to understand for most people, I think.
But even being next to like Jason, you already know it's gonna be a global movie. Because
Oh, yeah.
bro, it's like who's not gonna watch when you have this guy always in the
Yeah.
cover? You have to watch that movie.
Right?
Yes.
So you know, and then but a lot of the actors were great
Yes.
fucking actors
Yeah,
too.
they were.
So, but I did know the part was originally smaller, and then it started growing, and David started writing more in. I was supposed to be Dougie, you know, when I'm smoking the
Yeah.
cigarette, and I'm like fucking talking about the trap house or whatever. I was supposed to be in the original script Dougie's girlfriend, just
Yeah.
that. But then it just kept expanding
That's fire.
with the character, and I think stories should too. Like so,
Yeah.
when you go in, if you can, you have the script. You're like, this is what we're shooting, but then you can discover other things along the way. And be like, wait a second, I think this character could do this and that, and so you're free. Instead of some directors or some people are like, this is a script, this is what we're shooting, but being free to explore and to expand,
Yeah.
like based on new information.
As an artist, yeah.
And I'm like, that's
That's
what
pretty cool,
you
yeah.
want to do, right? Like this is really, I'm really liking this. Let's go further. So the role expanded, and when I got there, I was just, I mean, it's just like the difference between a studio movie and a low budget film is
Yeah.
fucking like night and day. It's like, okay, everyone, here's your holding area. We're sharing one bathroom, and then
Yeah.
you got the fucking DP, everyone going in there. I'm like, I just needed to piss. Oh my God, you know, like, so and then you have this big budget movie. Everyone has their own trailer.
And then shooting it in Europe is crazy too.
Yeah, in London.
London.
Fuck, man, I
When I seen Conejo being picked up in the Mercedes, I'm like, whoa, bro,
What?
another level.
We had our own drivers.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then you think to yourself, I'm like, God damn, is this ever going to happen again? But I'm like, I was gracefully given this part.
Yes.
#1 fucking movie in the world. I'm like,
Yes.
what? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but you think to yourself, I'm like, I don't know if it will ever happen again, but at least it happened.
Yeah, for
And
real.
so you want to strive for that, but then here I am acting again. I'm like, oh, should I go out for this and this and that? I'm like, but still, I'm not basing things on that. But to have that one moment, it's fucking, it means the world. You've
Yeah,
been
it
doing
does.
this for how long?
Yeah,
And then
for
some of us
sure.
don't get it. It doesn't mean that your career is less significant.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you don't, there's like a story of this penguin, right? He's trying to get to the top of this mountain and it's icy and he's sliding down. The ice is so fucking hard, right? And the dad comes behind him. He's like, what's going on? Why are you in such a hurry? He's like, I've been wanting to get up this fucking mountain. I've been trying, and I can't. I keep sliding down. And the dad's like, just take a breath, go to sleep, try again. There's no rush. Penguin wakes up the next day and he looks and the sun's out and the weather's great and the snow is melted. And he gets up the fucking mountain with ease and nothing. And he turns around, he's like, look, Dad, I did it. And the moral of the story is sometimes it's not the effort you put into it, it's the timing, right? And so I could be trying my fucking ass off. And there is, like, you want to believe that there's something else out there. And there's timing. And there's what you're putting out. Like, the more I try sometimes, it's like quicksand. I'm getting further and further in. I'm like trying to pull myself out. But sometimes I'm like, I stop, take a breath, and then it comes to you. So I think, sometimes too much effort, it will give you the opposite. Too much trying, You do have to give things time to come to you, to breathe. Because if it's like you're a guy and you're like constantly going after the girl or whatever, let her make a decision. Let her come to you.
Yeah.
Like, what's up? You like me? You want me or not, man?
Yeah. Yeah, and then you pulled it off because hearing your story and hearing all these details, I'm like, I'm happy that like it came at the right moment for you, and then you were able to even like break out of that. Because to me, you were the breakout character on there.
Oh yeah.
You were. And even I was talking to my wife, like, yo, she really did a badass job. And then next thing you know, I see you post it. That's when I was like, whoa, it's her. Yeah, yo, Dave, we need a movie where you have a lead female, and let's get it happening.
Let's
Let's
do it.
it.
But I haven't even gotten. There's a few of my neighbors walk by me and they're like, "Man, motherfucker, I saw that movie. I saw it twice." I'm like, I didn't even know that was you. I'm like, so my neighbors don't even. They're like, you're fucking scary. I'm like,
scary.
Yeah, you did your shit on that movie, man.
Yeah.
And as far as stunts, like, were you doing your own stunts? Where like, how was that?
Yeah, well, we
in the
had
movie?
stunt doubles, but
stunt doubles?
we went in early, so we were staying in Windsor near the Windsor Castle. They had us. Conejo was there too.
Yeah, he was.
I know. I'm like, I'm next to the Windsor Castle. What? Like, from fucking Rodeo Drive to the Windsor Castle, bitch. What's up?
That's funny.
Sheesh. And also, Dave was also at the same South Central when he moved from wherever he was from to LA.
Yeah.
That's where he landed in South Central too.
yeah.
So that is fire.
Yeah. That's what's up, right?
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Right, but then that script. Oh, so we were talking about the villains, but the villain who stands out, fucking in Training Day, Denzel. Like,
Denzel.
You like that's the character.
Yes.
That's the person. Of course, Ethan Hawke did a great job, but you're like, fucking like King Kong ain't got shit in me. I heard he improvised that, but he's hanging out with fucking all of these people, talking to all, like really putting himself in this situation, this state, and it just the characters came alive, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking badass script. Like that movie is everyone's top fucking movie. You know?
It's just, I feel
is
like
it yours?
Me personally, no,
That's why I knew it wasn't because he's like.
I'm more of a Truman Show type of movie guy.
All right. I won't hold it against you.
I just feel like that's like so LA, and the way they wrote like the Latinos in there and the Crips and the Bloods, the way he did it just seems so authentic to me.
Yeah.
It's like, to me, even like I fuck with Boys in the Hood, I fuck with Don't Be a Menace and all those movies, but that movie alone, And even to know Conejo was also, he was an extra in there. It was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
That's fire.
He was an extra in Training Day?
Yes, you know how in the scene where they pick up the car at the beginning,
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke and him have their breakfast, and then they're in downtown.
Yeah.
So the guy that's being arrested, the homies,
Conejo?
is Conejo, and the guy with the gun is David Ayer.
What? Oh
So,
my God, I have to
yes,
rewatch it.
yes.
I never knew that.
And then
cameo.
behind there's a poster of Conejo's movie. I mean, Conejo's album.
No.
So you pause it, it's an album, there's an album there, and then
That's
David
crazy.
Ayer is the cop.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, now we all have to rewatch
Yeah,
it.
we watch it and freeze it and attack Conejo and David Ayer.
I'm going to do that. Damn, I did not know
shit's
that.
fire. So even that, like, just to see you guys work now, and even like, do you ever see yourself as a director coming? Because now you breaking down stories.
Yeah.
Like, why not be a director?
Well, here's the thing. You know, some things I think I could jump right into. Right now, I've started producing
Fire.
and, doing, Estevan is directing, Estevan Oriol.
Oh shit, Stefan. Oh
Yeah,
shit,
yeah,
an LA
yeah.
legend.
Uh-huh.
Is it on that one documentary with the Booyah tribe?
Well, we're doing that, yeah. Blood, Sweat,
Mm.
and Tears. So that's
Yeah.
still in the process. We still have some interviews we want to do,
Yeah.
and but I think it's this amazing story because their dad's a preacher, pastor.
Yeah.
They're from the hood. No one had ever seen anything like this ever in their fucking life. They break dance, like everything, sumo wrestling.
Yeah.
But then you look at it, and everything was going great, and then something stops. And what it was is they wanted these fucking gangsters, right? And they show up to set, but they put a gun in the recording studio, and there was a lot of different things that happened, but they were blacklisted. They just fucking cut them off. That it's like, you want this thing, you want this gangster, you want the real deal, and then you fucking, you close every single door. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's a beautiful story, and there's so much more after that with the family. A lot of the brothers have died, and but just how their career and all the routes that it took, gangsters, gangs, fucking God, you name
Yeah.
it, it's all in there. And I'm like,
That's
this is a
fire.
great story. Yeah.
And I do see you in like dope, I think Dead City Punk shows.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm like, damn, she's in the hood all the time.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going with the culture. Like, how do you get so comfortable around that? Like, you being from the East Coast and Atlanta, like, it just came to you.
Well, I thrive in chaos, I
Yeah.
think, but not even that. Like, it's just being like real and being alive, right? So I hate going to award shows or events, and then I'm like, how am I supposed to sit? How am I supposed to? Let me talk slower because I end up talking fast. They're gonna think I'm like,
You're Italian, so
yeah, I know. Don't move your hands. I'm like, God damn. But like going somewhere like to a show, Dead City Punks, going to all of these like fucking Desmadre, all this shit. And I used to go to fucking mosh pits and punk shows all the time. But I don't even think of it as being in a culture. I feel like it's being in a place too. It is being culture, but where I don't judge and where other people don't judge.
Yeah.
You have all fucking walks of life,
Yes.
all different types
Everybody's
of people,
there, yeah.
right? But it's like this one place, these guys get together, they go to these hardcore shows, and they're like, in the middle, mosh pits are a lot different than back when I was a kid. I'm just kidding. Oh, man. And they built this thing called the Wall of Death. They're like, everyone go to this side, and then they I was like, what
Kill
the
each
fuck
other.
is this? God damn. But they're from all these places, but there's like a common rule. We're not really hitting each other. Someone falls down, even though we're doing this, we pick them back up. And it's just like this feeling of coming together as a people, regardless of where you're from, what you're doing. You like art. We have that movie in common. We like the same song. It's like we all come together because we like this thing. Nothing else fucking matters. It's this one common that we have, and we're here, and we're celebrating that, and fuck everything else. Leave everything at the door. You
I
know?
saw that a lot at ska shows. I'm not sure if you know about ska shows, but like LA has like a bunch of like underground ska shows, and that's what it is. Like all the outcasts just go there and they have their fun, they mosh, they do those Wall of Death, and it looks scary from the outside, but like once you're in there, it's all family. We all help each other up. You fall, get back up, shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a sense of like belonging.
It is.
And that's what kind of I see it. Yeah.
It is.
Somewhere to
and-
belong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I think that's a good thing because a lot of these people, they go to their jobs and, say that they have a stuttering thing or they're picked on or whatever.
Yeah.
They go to this hardcore show. They're throwing punches. They're very socially awkward, but then they're in the pit. They're doing this shit. They're fucking badass, and they leave, and then they go back and
They're
their bosses.
clocking an apple and shit.
But yeah, it's like we're all fucking warriors, but every single thing is left at the door. And
Yes.
I think that is a culture. Maybe it's an LA thing too, because there is this sense of coming together. Like when we protest, I'm protesting all the time.
I see you, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
But I mean, we should.
I see you always standing up for my people, and I want to say that I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
You're always there consistently, not only just because it's popular, it's very consistent. So I do shout you out for that.
Well, I think it's important to, if you can do something, do
Yes.
something. And some people will write or make pamphlets and do things. But it's like when you choose to not do something, you've already chose a side.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that are just fundamentally wrong about all of this. And it comes down to a lot of things. And it's like, I have to do what I can do. I can't do everything. But I can do something, and I can stand up. And there's
community,
power in numbers. I mean, that's
sure.
what fucking tyranny is. If you look at it, like, they're like, oh, all these people in power. It's like, how many of us are there and how many of them are there?
Yeah.
If we all stood together, if we all did something, like, that's the power.
Yeah.
So
I think the saying goes, for evil to prosper, all good men just must do nothing, and essentially evil wins.
right?
Yeah.
Yes. Then that's exactly it. And people are like, what are we gonna do about fucking Epstein? What are we gonna do? I'm like, we know, right? But then some people are still denying things that are there, denying fucking pieces of paper
Yeah, they're like,
or
oh, the case is
evidence.
still open. I'm like, bro, you see all the emails.
Right? But the highest form of intelligence is being able to change your belief based on new information,
Yes.
right? So it's like not what you believe, it's being able to change it. So there's a lot of things that I believed, and then I learned other things, and my friends like, nah, bitch, you're wrong. I'm like, at first, maybe we had a few beers or something, we're just getting in the debate.
Yeah.
But then I go home and I think about it, and that's the difference. And then I'm researching it. I'm like, wait, dude, like, she has something right to say. And then I'll tell her, I'll be like, yo, I just want to let you know it was fun debating with you the other night.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you spit some facts.
Yeah.
And I kind of changed, not fully, but I'm like, I'm going in this direction now. And I'm like, that's so difficult for people to do because of pride. And because it's like, I said this. Well, I said I support this person and I'm going to do it. I'm like, but based on all of this that's happening, how could you still blindly go with someone? It's just really, I think that people's pride is what really fucking kills them in the end. I mean, it's so sad. Like, it's hard to imagine like being that person and be like, no, I'm not changing my mind. I'm like, really? After all, okay, dude, but you're gonna have to take it to the grave with you.
I always preach media literacy because I feel like that is what's holding most people back from being able to go beyond the veil, because everything's right in front of us. We can all see the same thing and understand it in multiple ways, and it's because of the way we can understand all the information we're getting from the news, from Instagram, from social medias. Because we're all bombarded with the same information, but it's up to us to be able to learn literacy of what we consume so that we can make informed decisions.
Yeah. And then also knowing what's right, what's not. We're so much things online that they're bullshit, right? And where to get those sources. So do you teach media literacy?
No. But I come from a background of filmmaking, and then I've always had an interest in media as a whole, and just psychology in general. So when you put all those together, when it comes to filmmaking, what are we doing? We're putting stories beginning, middle, end. There's always psychology behind the characters, like you just said earlier. You have to understand the person's upbringing in order to put yourself in that situation.
Exactly.
So I feel like filmmakers in general have the best sense of media literacy because we're already prone to being able to be exposed to stories and et cetera. It's so funny in my household. Everyone gets mad at me because I figure out the plot of all the movies that we watch. And it's not because I'm like a genius. It's because there's a loop to everything. There's the same outline to everything, even in life, in news stories. You just got to figure out it's you got to connect the dots.
Yeah.
So I feel like because being a filmmaker, it gives you that outlet to be able to be like, you know what, I understand the media very well. I understand the news. And so whenever, we see a politician using, I don't know, like paraphrasing the Bible, we know it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we can literally just go and look it up ourselves. But most people are going to be too lazy to do it themselves.
Well,
so they
yeah.
trust what they consume.
And that's the thing is, it's laziness all across the board.
Yeah.
So when it comes to all of these institutions, I think, or, let's say Republican, Democrat, Christian, this, that, everyone is they just are so I'm just listening. I don't want to figure it out myself. I want someone to write the fucking map for me, what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to wake up, how I'm supposed to do that. I don't want to have to go through, there's so much going on in the world, and I think that's what a lot of people do. They just rely on someone else to tell them what to do and tell them how it goes. Whereas I was in theology growing up, I was in a religious school at one point, and, we read the Bible and we studied it, and then I hear people, who are religious. I'm not a religious person, but I know the Bible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, there's, I'm like, pick up the fuck, like, if this is what you believe in, pick it up and read it.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that you have to be scared of are the people who only have one book in their house, rather than there's a quote about that saying the Bible, and they've never read it.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but it comes with all religions.
Yeah.
It comes with fucking, politics too. You're a Republican. Okay, you're a Democrat. All right. I'm like, do you know what you're saying? And I think, too, to be open to it, too. I'm like, I have some beliefs that are like this. And I'm like, I don't even believe in the whole fucking institution anymore, know? I'm a Republican, I'm Democrat. I mean, we have to pick a side, of course.
Yeah.
And, of course, you know what my side is. But, like, really, when it comes down to it, everyone's fucking corrupt. I'm
Yes. So it's like, that's why I even hate the whole pointing fingers. It's like, man, we got to understand all sides and like make your own judgment and be compassionate for people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And understand what's happening and like don't just blindly just go one side or the other or just point fingers. Because there is also a way of like learning new information, like you said, and being able to change your mind based on new information. And don't be arrogant about that because people they feel like they gotta die on that hill and like no. Sometimes you have to like feel like, oh shit, you know what? I was wrong and I have new information. Now I wanna move a certain way to help the community in other ways,
And I think that's the thing too. And it's so difficult because everyone does want to pick a side, or everyone want to identify, and that's the thing. And it's so great, like we said, we go into this, but you identify with something, and you feel like it's like even being in a gang or something. I identify; these are my people. It's like this safety blanket. And I'm like, how difficult is it to not fully identify with anything? But how freeing is it? Because it's like, I can make every single one of my choices. I could based off of what I know and my own belief system.
Yeah.
I'm like, this works for me, this doesn't. I believe in this, I don't believe in this. And it's not just with this one person's system or this one person's belief, it's with everything.
Yeah.
And I think it's so freeing to not say, this is my group, and this is my people. I have a lot of friends from way different walks of life.
Yes.
And my friends are like, why don't you ever hang out with this person? I'm like, mother, I don't even cross-pollinate. I don't like to do that. I'm like, because I like getting things from other groups, and they don't have to be able to interact.
Yes.
The thing is, it works for me, It's,
and like, how do you see LA now, especially now? Do you, because recently Shia had a big interview where he says like, we all agree because like LA has changed so much. Do you still love LA how it is now from when you came?
Yeah, well, the thing about LA is I think LA still is. You know how when people used to come to America, the American dream, like my dad did too, right? What LA is still that dream. Like LA, and it's the most forgiving city. LA is my heart. I didn't know when I moved here this was going to be it. I thought I'm going to go to New York or something, but like it's so forgiving and loving. You could fuck up, but people will pick you back up. There's always something going on. And like LA is like the American dream inside of America. LA is this place where you can make your fucking biggest dreams come true, or you could get in the most trouble of your life. But I'm like, it's this, there's this beautiful thing to LA and the people, and everyone stands together as much as, a lot has changed, but I still find it to be the most beautiful fucking city in the United States. You know?
I don't want a perfect LA. I feel like LA has always been edgy. I don't want to where like I don't never want it to be where it's just like this perfect city.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where you lose art. That's where you lose these stories of like people that are raised in these tough environments. That's where we're not gonna get the next Tupac. We're not gonna get the next Kendrick. We're not gonna get these stories and these people that are gonna change the world if we don't have this diversity of environments. And that's what I love about New York as well. I love the chaos. I love these imperfection things because that's me as a director. I just love seeing textures of things.
Yeah.
I love being able to go here and see these type of people. I like to go over there and see that type of people. And being able to adapt things and learn from different people.
Yeah.
You know?
Aside from the Booyah Tribe documentary, is there like another part of LA that you want to highlight or like document in the future or like near future, like you're thinking about?
Well,
because I feel like Booyah, you know, that's Carson related and stuff. Is there like a different aspect of LA that you would want to document?
There is something that we started working on. It's not really part of LA. I don't know if I'm actually allowed to say that. It is in the music scene. There's yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that one. Wait, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Don't get in trouble.
But we have been going through like different artists and their story, but it's talking to artists who aren't known, right? Because I feel like the thing that gets lost too is the only people asking questions to certain artists are the ones who found fucking fame or fortune, right? I'm like, just because people aren't known or famous doesn't make them any less of an artist, right? Yeah. You see these people in their house painting their entire life and, you know, just all of these works of art and no one has seen it. No one, but the story is there. It's still there and it's still just as beautiful. So finding people that aren't known, finding even bands who are just playing.
Important. It's very important because they also help shift it forward to where somebody else blows up, but it started here.
Yeah.
It started with these people that influence maybe the next superstar. But let's not forget about the actual movement itself.
Right.
You know?
And I think there just needs to be some type of recognition, not that they even need fame at a certain point, but like this person right here, and maybe it will go away right afterwards, but everyone needs to be acknowledged. But even, you could say, even someone who's been working in the same fucking kitchen for 50 years and now they're done. What about those stories? Yeah. What about those fucking stories? Mm-hmm. They work hard and then, you know, they lost their wife and, you know, how to do this, like those are the stories that choke you up. Those are the stories I think we need to hear. It's better to relate to something like that because you hear these stories of these grandiose people and then this and this happened. It's hard to relate, but then you hear some story and they did this and this happened and they're still surviving. And like it's those Instagram stories sometimes you see about, there's this homeless man, I think he was in Philly. He's like, I'm a person too. And I remember he's like, people don't look at me like I'm a person. And he's like, every time I saw that story, I get choked up. I'm like, ugh. You know, like where do they come from and what is their story? Because we're all just people.
It's kind of like that story. I don't know if you saw it. The woman that was living in the sewers.
No.
There was a woman living in the sewers in South Central, and like the video went viral and people were talking about it. And her family like came out and said this. They showed videos of her and she was apparently a singer or something. Like she also has a story. Like someone came out and claimed her and said, "Oh, this is my aunt or whatever she was."
Wow.
And it goes back to, you know, she also had a story and we got to see, you know, what we saw and
you
know.
And then it's not just like, oh, who's this fucking lady living the sewer? Like, dude, how did she fucking get there? And what happened to her? And, you know, like, what is that? Because, you know, you want to think too for yourself. There could be a moment where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I could be that person.
Yeah.
I could, something could change in an instant and I just give up or I can't do anything anymore. So I don't know that, but even hearing those stories and feeling empathy for those people and feeling like, you know, just knowing, and it doesn't have to be tragic. It could just be, you know, I've been working every day at the same grocery store. I've been doing this, going in and out, but no one has ever looked at me. Everyone just overlooks me every fucking day. And this is the first time anyone's ever noticed me. Yeah. And that could be a story, you know? It's the simplest thing, but I think everyone deserves to be seen. Yeah.
Sure. I think that's what, because he runs a page also, South Central Clips, and they highlight a lot of local family-owned businesses, and
Oh,
they
yeah?
highlight people in the kitchen and
Yeah.
grocery stores and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
I
so
love-
what we do, we kind of niche it down to the South Central area. So we do highlight like small businesses. We just did one where taco truck, has been working there for like years, generations. I mean years. And then within the first 6 months that they opened, they were about to close down because the customers weren't coming. It wasn't enough to like keep it open, but something happened and now they're thriving. But
Yeah.
within 6 months they were already planning on like closing and like shutting down and ceasing operations.
Wow.
But yeah, they're pretty good stories. You
Yeah.
get to meet people, know their stories, know more than just the food, know how the food came to be, and just cultural stuff.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
also the part of that story too is they were ready to close down,
Yeah.
and then just there's like one moment something just changes, and I think that we all need to hear that sometimes. Like we
Yeah.
all want to fucking give up. I'm like I'm done. There's so many times I'm sure we've all done that, but then something comes along, and sometimes it doesn't. And so all of these stories I think are important because we learn off of others' experiences, and it helps us.
And you kind of relate to it too, because everybody has that tipping point whether you kind of are about to tip over, but you kind of just succeed in one way or another. So it's relatable at some point. So it's always great to know about them.
Right? I don't want to hear about all the good stuff. Fuck you,
Yeah,
like,
everybody
your
has
life
good
was
stuff.
perfect,
Yeah,
fuck
yeah,
off,
boring.
But I want to be like, this happened to you and you
Yeah.
still did it, or this happened to you and you couldn't do it anymore. And then just, that's what you want to hear. Because we all have that, like you said. It's important to see that in other people too.
Yeah.
Not just like you walk by someone, like they just walked in front of me. Everyone's going through something, and sometimes I have to remind myself when I'm driving, like, fucking asshole or something. I'm like, I don't know what's going on in their head, and then I don't want to get shot too.
yeah.
But, this is LA.
Yeah, this is LA.
So, but it's always good to be reminded of humanity, and,
Yeah.
people are all going through their own shit. We're not all robots,
Yeah.
I
Have you been writing?
did write something recently, yeah.
Okay.
I did. It's like, I think we're gonna film it soon. It's it's a letter, and this letter. This is the beautiful thing about art, right? I was, something happened. There was this moment, and before this, I was like, I can't fucking write anymore. I can't do any. Like I've just lost it, and I'm wondering. I was saying to myself, I'm like, I can't force myself to write.
Yeah.
But this moment happened, and it was like, I was just like, fuck, man, like really feeling bad about this situation. And instead of getting in my feelings or something, I felt the spark, like I heard this sentence in my head, and I picked up a pen and paper and I started writing. And I feel like with art, it's such a good way now when I have these moments of either struggle or happiness or something that I need to do, I find a way to have an outlet, a positive outlet, not like destroying myself or something. So I wrote this beautiful letter, and I showed it to a few people, and they're like, oh, we've got to shoot this, like as a montage and everything. But it's it's like a closure type thing. You write something, you get it out, and it's like when musicians, they're fucking going, they feel this beat, they feel it's in their head, and they play it. And I think that's when you create something beautiful in art, because it's something inside of you, and you find a way to show it to someone else. Like this is, if you go through this, they don't need to know everything, but it's like, here's a part of me. Are you going through this? And it's something we could share,
Do you plan on shooting this in Los Angeles?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
We recently had horchata with oat milk, the director and the producer over here, and we were talking about how there's not enough going on in LA for us to be incentivized to shoot anything in LA. Do you feel that there's anything specific that the city can be doing to help filmmakers?
Well, just recently, they were going to shoot Baywatch here. First, they were going to shoot it like in Australia or something. And the city's like, no, shoot it at Venice. They got all the permit, or they did everything. And then what it was is they got this tax rebate, something, I don't know exact details, but then the permit people were like, you can't put a car on the beach, you can't do this, you can't do that. They had a pool fucking production. I'm like, you guys make it so difficult, especially getting permits and things. The movie, A Working Man, is in Chicago. We had to shoot it in London, you know? Like, but LA in particular, it's like, why you're killing this industry? You really are. Like, you're making everything difficult. Well, this permit, this date wasn't filled out properly, and you're actually doing this. Like, fuck off, man. Like, bring the work back to the city.
You said green, not blue.
Their budget, I think, had to double just because of permits themselves. So, and we had discussed how I think LA implemented like a $2 billion tax rebate for filmmaking. That's like 2 Marvel movies right there. So that's not nearly enough for everyone trying to be a filmmaker in
LA. It's really ridiculous, and there's so many things that they fucked us over on, really. Because, but then again, like LA will be. This is, you know, it's Hollywood, so whatever. But it's messed up, and also soon. I just found out that the writers are going to go on strike possibly again, and the actors. I'm like, dude. I don't know how you guys are getting your fucking money. Like, we need to stop with this because it's AI again. They're going to do the. I was like, can AI go on the strike and the actors still get to work? So everything that's AI has to put a halt to it, and then we could continue to work because this is fucking killing me, man.
That is.
Like,
what do you think about that? What do you think of a lot of actors now are getting basically scanned all over so they can have a 3D model of them to be implemented into movies? I feel like it's just a gateway to, eventually everything's going to be AI, and the soul of filmmaking and the industry itself is going to be gone.
Well, I have a friend who works for this company. She just told me, I saw her the other day. She finds people online, pays them $200 to get their face scanned. It's a one-time thing for this company to go in. It's just random people on the street, everyone getting scanned, signing their fucking rights away for perpetuity or whatever for a while.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, this is crazy. So, but then there's not like a lot of laws in place where you see people taking main actors, like big famous actors' voices, and using them as a voiceover, but it's not really their voice, but it sounds like them. So, you know, I'm like, it's really messed up. But then you just, I mean, I don't know kids today, but you kind of just lose the soul to everything. It's like synthesized music. It's like fucking, you could tell when you see AI, like them walking around. So it's, I mean, if that's the route that we want to take, we choose what we want to see and we choose what we want to listen to. And it's up to us to say, no, like, I don't want to watch this. I'm done. But if the consumer keeps consuming this bullshit,
that's true.
Yeah, it's easier. Keep putting it out, man.
I think there's a responsibility on the social media apps to implement AI content, because now they're not putting, this has been AI created now. They're not putting that disclaimer. So I'll be like 75% through a video, and then I'll be like, this is AI. I just wasted my time. Yeah. And it's like a gut wrench feeling every time that I'm like, this was enjoyable, whatever, but I have wasted my time on this slop.
Yeah.
And so I want my time back. I want to be able to give credit to whoever created it. Yeah. Because that's part of what, being creative. We want to be eventually credited for saying, hey, I created this. Exactly. This is my masterpiece to the world.
Scorsese, whatever. Yes. But then people are like, they'll use the excuse, well, I had to create it with AI. It's not the same, dude. It's like, hey, I'm going to write, I want a story about this, and this. Write it for me. I'm like, bitch, you didn't write that. Stop. But it
Stranger
is easy.
Things. Get it together.
What is it bad?
I think one of the writers got caught. I guess he did a screenshot of his computer and he had a ChatGPT opened up tab.
No, someone took a photo of how writers.
It was on like the documentary they dropped after the series had finished. Yeah, and there was already questions about that, so they it was a shot that they did, and their computer was open. And you could see like multiple tabs.
He's like, well, I don't know where the story should go.
They did say they were writing it as they were going, so it's like,
Jeez.
Yeah, man,
all
not
right,
a good look.
Before we get you out of here, because it's timing. I know you're busy. Yeah. Is there any director out there that you would love to work with?
Or actor.
Actor.
Well,
or one of each. Who would you want to be a co-star, and who you want to work with?
Yeah, I mean, look. fucking David Ayer is a dream too.
David
you know.
Ayer, I'm about to tag you on this, fool.
I would love to work with him again. But also, you know, I that was a dream
Yes.
anyway. But also, like, of course, Scorsese.
Scorsese, ooh, of
You know,
course.
come
Yes.
on, I am, and yeah, Scorsese,
Scorsese.
and Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, cool.
You know, he's great. But actors, growing up, actors I loved Robert De Niro and Al Pacino,
Yeah.
and those were. People are like, oh, you don't like actresses. I'm like, no, but these were the characters when I would watch things, and I'd be like, fuck, you know, like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, I would love to work with them. Of course, we'll see. If there's tons of great actors, and I think that, yeah, there's plenty of amazing directors and actors
Yeah.
I would love to work with, but those are the ones who pop out, you know, fucking.
I have a question. The last question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, if you get 2 offers, you get to work in a maybe not so big of a budget movie, but is a good, still going to be for theaters, but it's a great story. Is it going to challenge you, or you get the big bag with Marvel giving you a superhero movie? Which route are you choosing?
Well, it would depend on, like, when you say lower budget, there are movies, yeah, but like it could be great. Yeah. It has a possibility of really taking someone somewhere.
And you're starring on it.
Yeah, I mean, of course it would. You know, I'll be honest. It would depend on the director and other people in it, and who's editing it, because sometimes it could turn out to total shit.
Yes.
Like, let me pick my fucking things. Like, I'm gonna do this movie and the editing's awful, the sound is off.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? I could be rich on the beach right now, and I did this shit. So if everything's tied together, if those are my 2 options, if it was this great piece, I'm like, wow, this could change my life, then I would do it. But if I'm not sure about all this other stuff, I'm they're like, oh, we don't know the director. We're just doing this and that. But the script is great. And I've done some of those movies. And then I watch it. I'm like, oh my God. What the fuck? I don't know what sees this. Oh God damn. It's like, you know, ultra low budget, right? When you start, a couple $100 a day, which is like, not even gas, agents and managers. And I looked at it, I'm like, God damn, motherfucker. Like,
Let me not post this one.
I know, right? I'm like, hey, promote this. I'm like,
You're like, no.
Hey, but those characters for like Marvel, those are like lifelong characters, right?
Yeah, they're a lot of long
Yeah,
characters.
yeah.
Like you might be in there for like 2-3 minutes
Yeah.
in this movie, but it's gonna like lead
They, like,
to a lot
stays
of
with
things.
you for like the next 10, 20 years.
To be on Comic-Con appearance, a bunch of stuff. comes
I
in.
don't know if Marvel whatever would ever hire me. So
They should.
if you want
They
to, hey, I'm
should.
here. But you know, I might not be their cup of tea. But yeah, maybe one of the villains. You know,
Yeah.
Like so, if you need a good fucking villain, here
I
I
can see you
am.
as like a Catwoman or like a.
Oh yeah.
We
Or
need
like,
a good Catwoman,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
curious.
I'm down.
I don't even like the shout out to Halle Berry, but I prefer the Catwoman from the 90s.
Yeah.
We need a good Catwoman.
Yeah.
Yo, Marvel, tap in.
Yeah, how did what's her name do? Zoe Kravitz. Was she it? Because I didn't watch it. No.
It was
Oh,
not
okay,
good.
okay.
No. All right, I want to go ahead and I appreciate you pulling up.
Yeah.
And any last words from you guys?
2 things. I really love your approach on acting in its truest art form, because the way you broke it down is not just acting. It's an honest art form compared to other things that we do, and not the cookie cutter stuff. So I appreciate that, seeing that and hearing that from you. And also 2, I appreciate why I've never seen Prime like in his element, directing, filmmaking, like, you know, going all crazy talking about it. So it was good to see him.
Yes.
Oh, right on.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Just to recap.
Is there like a ETA on the documentary with Booyah?
No, there's a couple of interviews that we have to get done, but we have the sizzle together, and someone just said that they're going to send it to The Rock because he's Samoan, see if he wants to jump in, you know? Yeah, hop on as a fucking producer.
Yes.
Get the ball rolling.
The bar roll. And plus, even the Samoan community, there's been a staple in LA for so long in the South Bay. Like, why not? Like, unniche. I mean, untapped market that we
That's why
gotta
I
like.
was-
We gotta tell
Yeah.
those stories.
Because it's like it's very untapped.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very
Especially
untapped.
in the gang culture.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, a Samoan gang.
Yeah.
I know,
Carson.
right?
Yeah.
God, have you seen how big Samoans are too?
Yeah,
Like, it's-
and they've been the biggest in football games. They're
Yeah.
always the stars.
Oh my God! Did you know that with the haka dance when
Yeah.
they do that?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I wanna thank you for pulling up, and we do have a special gift. We do have a Mexican brand that we just launched, me and my brother David, and from Boyle Heights, and this is where like Candelita stems from. So part of the community, we're here to give you a piece of a little bit of us. Thank you very much. And I hope you like the smell, and I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you guys.
oh yeah.
Yes. It's homemade. We know. So shout out to you for pulling up. We want to give you a little bit of something from us for supporting our community. So I want to thank you guys, and thank you guys for pulling up. And I'll catch you guys in the next time. And we are out.
Bye.